All right, guys, welcome to Razor Edge VFX. So today we're going to be creating what you see on the screen right here. So we're going to be putting a shot in from Blender in an actual live footage, just like you can see here. So the shot we are going to be putting is going to be our very own water bottle, the plastic bottle we created initially in Blender. We're going to integrate it into a footage like this, just like you can see here. Use the bottle, and we're just going to put it into here from Blender, and we're going to finish it off in After Effects. All right, so it's a visual effects class, so we're going to be using both Blender and After Effects today. So this is going to be the final look, so let's get to it immediately. All right, guys, so welcome to Blender, and this time around we are using Blender 4.2.1. This is the latest version as at the time of this recording. So we're going to be doing a basic compositing of a CG element from Blender to a live footage. Okay, so if you have a film you shot or something you shot and you need to put in a CG element, something that you have created in Blender, a 3D element into the film, that's what I'm going to teach you how to do it. So we're going to be starting off with Blender, creating what we're doing in Blender, then we'll finish the compositing in After Effects. Okay, we'll be using After Effects and Blender for this, okay, because After Effects is more specialized for compositing, final compositing, than Blender. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to delete the default cube, and we're going to be placing working with that our plastic bottle that we created. So go to append. If you have something you have created once in Blender, you saved it in Blender file, go to append and get it into your current file. All right, I have mine here. Okay, mine is this plastic bottle I've created. Click on it, press append, and go to objects. Object is what you need to append, leave the other ones. Double click on it. Then if you know what you modeled, if you know the shapes using modeling it, select it. Otherwise press A to select everything, but I don't need the camera. All right, and I don't need the light. I'll show you how to light it. Okay, I don't think I use Torus to do any modeling for this, for the plastic bottle. Okay, so I'll just import the rest, and once they come in, if I don't need anything, I'll delete it. Okay, so everything comes in, but I only need this plastic bottle, so I'll just have to click on all the things I don't need. Click on this, click on the desk, click on this, and press X and delete. Okay, click on delete, and yeah, so I'll click on this empty, press X, and click on delete. So I need only this bottle and this plane. All right, so if you're wondering what this plane is designed to capture shadows. If I click on this to see a fake shadow thingy, you see shadow here, right? So this plane is here to capture the shadow and put it in our real world. Okay, so click on this. I don't want to be seeing the shadows in my viewport. So how do I put this plane here? Let me press X and delete it. For some of you that might need to know how to do that, I'm going to click on this and select this. Now you see that my origin point is at the base of my bottle. So how do I do that? I click on edit tab to enter the edit mode. Then how to move that, because naturally your origin should be somewhere at the center of what you're doing, but I need it to be here so I can create a plane that it makes it sit directly on top of the plane. So I'll hold alternate and click any of the gap between these two vertices, and it will select the whole gap, the whole vertices, and make your cursor to come here, so your origin to be here. But you need to bring your cursor here by pressing Shift and S and select cursor to selected. So cursor will arrive here. Okay, then you can now press tab, go to object, come out of object, and this time around the origin is now here and your cursor is there. So if you now press Shift and A, Shift A, and go to plane, add a mesh plane, it stays there and makes your stuff sit directly on top of it there. Okay, then you can increase it if you want. All right, increase it anyhow you want, increase it anyhow you want. Good. So these are the two things we need. Now the next thing we need is our camera. All right, our camera is right here. If you press 0 is a shortcut for going into your camera view, but now we want our camera to be here. All right, there's another trick I'll show you. Once you keep your camera here, press control, hold alternate at the same time, and press 0 on your right number pad of your keyboard. you to snap your camera to the view you are looking at in your viewports. Okay, that's how you move your camera to wherever you're looking at. If you put your viewport here, hold Control Alternate and press O, it goes there. All right, so let's put it here and Control Alternate 0. Now our camera is there. The next thing is to import our video. All right, we have a video that we need to put this thing there. Click on this camera data thing, go to background images, click on it and click on add image. And once you click on add image, leave it as image, click on open. Click on open and go ahead and locate your images. Okay, locate your image. So mine mine is this. I'm going to use this. Now mine is a full video. All right, I think a 3 minutes video or something, but I only need just like a second of it to put this in. All right, I want this to be on the floor of a club of a particular area of the video. So right now is here. If I move this up, if I play this, you see nothing actually changes, nothing happens, everywhere is still dark. Why? Is because despite this is a whole 3 minutes video, if I come down here and scroll, you will see that the frames that were imported is just one frame because I brought it in as an image. So it only takes one frame and is only the beginning frame. So if you wanted to bring in the whole frames of the video, click on this, it will import it as image sequence. Click on this, it will import the whole frames of the video. So we have 4607 frames. And now if you scroll through, you see your video playing, right? But let's say the part you want to put this effect on is on the out of the 3 minutes, or be out of the 4006 or something is at frame 300, right? You can't keep scrolling to look for it. It will take it. You have 250, although you can increase, but it will take a long time. So don't do that. Go back to the beginning. Make sure you're at the frame 1. Now go to leave start at 1, then go to offset and move this offset. The more you scroll and move this offset, click it and move your mouse towards the right or the left to increase or go back. Click and hold it and move your mouse. So the more you move it, it will play in the video while maintaining it at your frame 1. All right. Now for me, I know that what I'm looking for is 300 because I've done this before. So I'll click on 300, but for you have to use your own video. If it's a single video, fine, you don't need to do all these things. If it's a video that is straightforward, don't do all this. But if it's a video that is a long video, and in that video there is a place a guy is on a table and there's no drink on his table, and you want to put a table water on the table, fine, you can get to the point of that video and follow along with this. Okay, fantastic. So this is where we want this to be. I want this to be on the ground here. Now when I go down here, you see the video is a little bit not sharp, it's not quite clear. So you come here, increase your opacity from 0.5, click and drag it to 1, and you see it's quite clear now, right? Now the next thing we're going to do, please do not touch your objects. Don't touch these things, don't touch all this, leave them the way they are. Just click on your camera and rotate your camera to align with the line, with the floor. Okay, now you see it's offsetted, is a different alignment. So click on it, press R to rotate your camera, then move it a little bit towards the right, like move it around to rotate your camera if it's not aligned, to align very well. Now I look at aligning my edge here to this, right? So the way this is going and this is going, they are now the same. So this is properly aligned. Fantastic. So you have aligned this. Now if you want to get rid of this grid, that is, if it's disturbing your view, you can come here, click on this and click on floor, toggle off floor. All right, and it takes it off. That's good. Now if we have to come here, change this on the render button, go to EV, click on EV, change from EV to cycles. For what we're going to do, cycles is the best to do it. You can change from CPU to GPU if you have a GPU. And now if I go ahead and click on this render view, you see it comes here. Now, but you know, I told you I need this to capture the shadow, and by the way, the shadow is being cut off, right? I need to adjust it. Okay, so I need to make this plane to be bigger by coming here and scaling it. Click on this red is for x-axis, scale it to going in the x-axis as well. Okay, so press 0 to go back. Now you see it's like this. Now this is a white plane, and what we need to do is to make this plane to capture the shadow of this. All right, now so if you come here, click on this object data, go down and click on visibility, and the kind of mask you want this to serve as is not a holdout. You want it to become shadow catcher. Let it catch only shadows. So click on it, and it's supposed to catch shadows, but guess what? Everywhere is still looking funny. It's not blending in, right? Why? Because your environment is all gray. There's no world for it to actually reflect, and therefore it's reflecting and catching shadow to a gray environment. So all you need to do is to come to the world, click on world, click on this color aspect of the world, click on it and go to environment texture. Click on environment texture, then click on this. You need the shadows. Now everywhere is pink, right? Because there's no texture you have applied to it, and Blender sees anything without texture to be pink. Now you want it to actually have the environment of this club, of this red area. Okay, I don't know if it's a club or something, but you want it to reflect the red light and have this exact picture. So use this exact video as your environment. So come here, click on this drop down and select your video, okay, as your environment. Click on it. All right, now it still has the same problem, right? Because one, this is not the frame number that the video has. So click on your camera and change all these values to match the one with your camera. Okay, so it gets the point of the video that has this look. So you come here, the point is the whole frames is 4607, start is 1, offset is 300. That is for my video. So go to world, this should be 4607, 4607. I still hope I'm right, yeah, 607. So 1, and this should be 300. Now see, the whole environment changes now, right? Fantastic. So you see, the environment is now being forced to wrap around this. This is the work of a normal HDR. If you're shooting on the sets, if you have a 360 camera, capture the environment there so you can use it instead of the video. It works better. So now when we come here, we still have problems because the ground is still not looking nice. Why? Because the ground is reflecting the environment and we don't want the environment to affect the ground. So what do? Come to render, go down to film, click here and go to transparent to make the environment transparent and only affect what we need it to affect, which is the shadow, okay, and the bottle. So click on transparent, so the rest of the world will be transparent and only the place we need will work. So you see, it's now perfectly, casting shadows on the floor, right? You see that, right? But there's another problem. You see, the problem now is that we have this white thing in the bottle, okay? So you look at this, this white thing is from the white indirect light bounce that bounces to the white plane and still shows up on the bottle, even though it's catching only shadow, but the reflection from the white plane is there. If I come here and off this shadow catcher, you see that our plane is white. So our plane, the light actually hits the plane and bounces. This is a secondary lighting situation here. It bounces and actually reflects inside here. That's why you see the candle that is here. Light comes, hits here, and it bounces off secondarily and lights here. Okay, if this was a white ground, you have your white thing here. So all you need to do is to change the color of this to match the color of the ground, so the correct light will bounce from here to here. So how do you do it? Come to the materials, click on this, click on new, and the color here, click on this base color, this white area, click on the eyedropper tool to select an eyedropper, and maybe select any of this color to take the color of this ground, and you see that it actually takes and it bounces the correct lights there. So we can go ahead and click on this and go back to shadow catcher, and it captures the shadow and reflects the right thingy there. All right, if you think that the ground is too dark, you can go ahead and maybe increase the thing a little bit, increase it up a little bit, increase it up a little bit, so that it's actually reflects the right place. Okay, so it's not too dark. All right, so it's basically almost the same thing. Good. Or maybe take it down a little bit, something like that, so it's not too dark. Good. So now this is what we have. So the next thing is we need to light this thing properly. Now the shadow is pointing in the wrong direction, because if you look at the girl's feet, her shadow is coming from here. Okay, so that means there's a light source here that is supplying light towards here. So this shadow should move. So let's go back here and come in here. Let's delete this light. So let me show you how to add lighting. And we'll hold shift A, and go to light, select area light. Area light is like your studio light, okay? What you use in lighting your studio. Take it up, and this is where you control it, okay? This bulb data here, you control the size, the power. So let's make the power to be like 300. All right, and the more you make this thing big, if you press S and scale it, it will make your shadows softer. Okay, I don't want it to be softer. I like it the way it is. So I'll take it back and move it to the area that I suggest this light is coming from. This light is coming from top here. So move it from there, rotate it to actually click on this blue line. This blue line, that is your rotation on your Z axis. So rotate it to actually, rotate it on Y axis first to point towards us. And you can see from the shadow is moving to where you want it to. So let it point towards us and make it click on the blue to rotate on the Z axis. All right. So you see the shadow is actually pointing in the right direction now, right? Good, good. So it's there and it's pointing in the right direction. Now, but you can see there's still a white thing in here. It's because the color of the light is still whitish. All right. So click on this and change it to a little bit, reddish, but not too red. Okay. Just is a light, guys. So not too red. So click on that and something like this is fine. Now you can see you've lit it. And the other thing you need to do is to add a second something else that will bounce the light here and make it just to give it a little bit highlights around here. Okay, just a little bit. So what you do is you can come out of here, press shift and D, and press escape, then click on this to drag it out, drag a second light here and rotate it properly to come in from here. Press X, click on this to drag it on the X axis to rotate it here. So it's actually shining on that second light here. Okay, can move it backwards a little bit, then reduce the power, because if you look here, it's shining so much, and so you need to reduce the power to like 100. Okay, so it just gives that this highlight of something. Okay, good. Now you can even increase it. Press S to increase the scale a bit. So it just softens off the whole highlight, not so much. Okay, press S and scale it up to be that point. Now you see we have that. Now you can go back a little bit more, take it a little bit more. We don't need it to be much. It's just a little subtle thing there. All right, good. Now you see we've actually had this thing there. Now this is the end of what we need to do, okay, for this, and we have this right here. Now all we need to do now is to render this out. So let's go back to the solid view. So this is what we have. So click on the render button here. Now everything is all set. And normally if you want to render out at full at 4K, you would increase this. Okay, increase this from 100% to 200%. Okay, increase to 200% if you want to do it at 4K, but we'll leave it the way it is. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and leave everything, but come here to the denoiser, leave the denoiser on, and change this max sample from 4096 to like 100. All right, for the sake of tutorial. All right, more samples means more more quality. Okay, it will be less grainy and have more pixels to play around. I'll show you what I mean. So leave denoiser on, then just go to render, click on render image and press render image. Now watch it. So you see it's reading from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 samples, and the more the samples increase, the more pixels are being added to the image. You can see. So the more increments in samples, these are all pixels. So the more increments in samples, you can see more pixels are added, more colorful pixels are added to blend in and give it more quality, right? You can look here, more pixels are added, more quality, more color is added, and more pixels are added, the more the samples are going on. So the higher the samples, if you do like 500 samples, it will be very much more quality than 100 or 1,000 samples and all that. It depends on your GPU capacity and yeah, on what you want to do. But this is a tutorial, guys. So I had to put on denoiser. So at 100, denoiser will go ahead and clean up the rest. Okay, so that's one thing with Blender. You can use denoiser if you're using an optics system. An optics denoiser will do a very good work as well. But I'm using an open image denoiser, which does a very great job as well. All right, so it's done. And from what you've noticed, you see the denoiser actually, denoise the grains, and it's looking the way it's looking. Okay, so this is how it is. Now you have your rendered out. You can see it has the shadows on it as well. You got the shadow and the plastic bottle on it with the correct amount of colors and all that. So this is how you save your image. Go to image, click on save as, and save it where you want to save it. Okay, save where you want to save it. And I already have mine saved out somewhere. So I saved mine as on a plastic bottle render tutorial. Okay, so I've done that already. So let's move over to After Effects. You can press save as, it saves it. Okay, so move over to After Effects and get things going correctly. Okay, All right. So for the sake of this story, I'm going to just go ahead and I've actually cut off the point of the video I need here, so I don't need to do that again after Effects. So I'll just, if you have your video should be the length, the same length. So I'll copy this, Control C, copy this, and come here, click here and Control V, and I'll paste it in. So you see it's a whole long video. I had to find a way to cut it off and bring it in, but I suggest your own video should have your own thing the way it is. And so what will come in here, just click on this. All right, click on this to trim your stuff down. All right, trim it down. Okay, good. Now by the way, if you don't know how to cut your own video, if you drag things around here, you want to cut something here, hold Control and Shift and press D. Hold Control Shift and press D, it will cut it off on that area. Okay, that's how you do that. So back to what we're doing. So this is the area we want to place this. All right, so first of all, what do? We are going to come to this area, double click or right click here. Okay, it's easier. Click on import, go to file, click on file, and go and locate your stuff. Okay, I know where my own is. I'll click on this cycles bottle comp. No, this is not the one I did. Yeah, this is a plastic bottle render tutorial. So I'll click on it, import it. It comes in here. Now I'm going to go ahead and drag it above here, above the video. Okay, just for the sake of it, let me drag it above the video here so that it aligns the way I want it to. Now I keep it on top of here. You see the bottle is there, but it's quite tiny, right? Yeah, because this is a 4K video, and if you come to Blender, you see that what we actually rendered here is if you come here to outputs, is actually 1080p. That is full HD. If you want to make it 4K, you have to change this 100% to 200%. All right, we forgot to do that, but it's still for a good reason, because most of your CG renders most times will be sharp, so you need to make them, you know, little less quality than your original. So that blends into your original. So the way it is here is fine, but we're going to increase it by right clicking on here and going to transform. When you go to transform, go down to fit to comp. When you click fit to comp, it will automatically align and fit to the whole composition and become your original thing here. All right, fantastic. So you have placed it here and you think it's good, right? But it's not all you need to do. So we need to make this to track to the video. You see, this is a moving video and is floating and breaking illusion. Okay, so we're going to click on this video, click on the video itself. We're going to click on Boris FX Mocha, double click on Mocha. All right, we already have one here, so just forget about this. Double click on Mocha. Now it opens up Mocha here. Click on this big Mocha icon here. It will open up Mocha AE. Mocha is a built-in plugin in After Effects that helps you to do all kinds of tracking. All right, you can do motion, object tracking, camera tracking, and lots of other trackings in Blender. Sorry, in After Effects. Okay, so go to close this and yeah, start all this. Now you have Mocha here. So this is the area you want the bottle to be in. So all you need to do is to track that area. Don't go and track here or track here. Track the area you want the bottle to be in, so it to be steady there. So you either click on this X spline tool or click on this box or circle. They are all areas to help you select areas. Okay, for now, let me click on this box. Okay, or let me just click on this because this is what you'll be using mostly. Click on this pen tool and come here and select. Let me select here. Click here. Click here. Click here. Click here. Click here and click here. This is roughly where I want. Then right click. Press right click. Okay, you are using left to click. The one you want to come out of the click, press right click and it cuts out the clicking thingy. Then if you look at the camera actually moves in areas that are not just X and Y axis. So you have to add the perspective change. Okay, click on the perspective, then press here to track forward, then watch the track happen. All right, fantastic. So we have tracked it. Then you can come here, double click on this layer, call it track, All right, then make sure you click on here first to save what you have done. Click on here once to save, then close Mocha. Mocha has done his job. Then you are going to apply that track to a null layer, to an empty layer. So how do you do that? You go to layer, press new layer, go to null object, click on null, then you have this thing here. All right, null 7. You can leave it wherever it is. You can leave it there, you can carry it up, it doesn't matter where it is, it still does the same job. So click on your video. Now go to tracking data, click on create track data. Now once you click on it, watch what happens here. You see track, yes, press OK, and you see that something appears here, some dots appear here. It means that After Effects is beginning to recognize that Mocha tracked something here, but it's not applied to anything yet. So you need to come here, change export option from corner pin to transform, and change layer export to what, from none to null 7. So you are saying, Mocha, please send all those your tracking information to the null layer. That's how we can apply it. Then press apply export. It applies it and it's there. Now if you come to null, click on this null, you see that this null now has some traces of something, right? If I go ahead and go to click here, go to transform, you see all the tracking information is at keyframes here now, right? Good. That's how you know the null has it. So if you move this, you see that the null holds the information. Good. Now just click on this plastic bottle. See this place the root parents and link. You see this wiggly line thing there? Click and hold that wiggly line and drag it. All right, you are saying, okay, please, the plastic bottle, null 7 should be your parent. Wherever null 7 go, I want you to go there. Is your parent now. All right, you just give out the child to null 7. So now this plastic bottle will follow null 7 because you dragged this and parented it there and handed it over to him. So wherever the null is going, the plastic bottle goes with it. So you see what I mean? Good, fantastic. So that's it. That's how you get that shot. Now, but we're not done. I need to still show you guys some other compositing trick. Now, everything might look good, but I still need to blend this in a little bit. All right. Right now, this looks a bit more sharp than the other environment. So you click on this plastic bottle, go to here, the effects and presets, type camera lens blur. So you see camera lens blur, double click on it, and it will blur this out by 5 pixels, which is not what you want. You reduce it to match what you are doing. Okay, make it like 2. Okay, 2 is fine. And another thing is yeah, everything looks good so far, but if you go ahead and look very closely, you see that this actually has some little grains on it, whereas this is purely smooth, like something that was denoised. So you need to actually go to the same effect and presets, delete this, type grain. Okay, you see add grain, double click on it, and change this from preview, because right now After Effects will just tell you, okay, preview here, so that you don't waste your RAM looking at everything. Change preview to final output, and you see that it has its own grain now. Okay, it has its own grain with this, which is perfect. Now this is how you blend it. Well, we have a lot of other things to do, but we're just going to stop here because this is looking good enough. The final thing you do is just click on for this bottle layer. All right, this is called motion blur. All right, since the camera is moving, if there's a little motion blur that can go with this, you want it to be done automatically. All right, so just click on this to add a little motion blur to it if the camera moves. If whatever object that is moving in your scene, if you click on this, After Effects to calculate adequate motion blur for it. So when we go ahead and now let's go ahead and press our preview. Let's go ahead and press space to actually preview what we're doing, and we'll allow this to load into our RAM. Then we can watch it and see what we're doing. Okay, so like I said, there are still other things we could have done for this, but for now this is the basic compositing of CG elements into your live footage. That's what the topic of this video is, and we have successfully done that. All right, so this is basic, and So you're going to be coming, you come in to the channel for other more tutorials on how to do more compositing and how to, create more realistic CG elements and how to bring it into your film or your projects. All right, so this is the end of the tutorial, and you can see that everything looks fine and dandy. If you click on this, I think if I click here, you see that everything is playing perfectly. Everything is playing perfectly and is tracked very well. All right. So that brings us to the end of the tutorial, guys. If you have any questions, go to the comment section and drop in the comment section, and I will take care of your questions as usual. If it requires me to make another tutorial to answer your questions, I'll have to do that. So nice talking with you guys, and see you guys on the next tutorial. Have a lovely day, guys.